I want to wish you a good afternoon. I don't think we could pick a better day to celebrate this, but my name is Warren Weber. I serve as the chair of the board for the Freestore Foodbank. On behalf of all my fellow board members, I want to extend a very warm welcome to everyone joining us in person as well as virtually to really celebrate this momentous occasion for our organization. Over a year ago, the Freestore Foodbank became even more critical and essential to this community. Our vision of the community that is hunger-free, healthy, and thriving was put into action at a rate we have never seen. With all these challenges that faced our community, we knew it was time to embark on a journey that would help us reach that vision. Exactly 1 year ago, we announced our Growing Beyond Hunger campaign, a transformational $30 million investment in the future of the Freestore Foodbank and the community we serve. Growing Beyond Hunger is a bold strategy to enhance and expand vital support services to get at the root causes of hunger and poverty. The campaign prioritizes 3 critical areas of investment. The first is growing in scale by building a new distribution and workforce training center to meet the entire need for missing meals in our region. The second is increasing our capacity and equipping our network to provide food and services for our neighbors across Ohio, Northern Kentucky, and Indiana in times of crisis. And lastly, expanding and enhancing programs that train workers to build in-demand job skills and become gainfully employed. We're thrilled to have you join us today on the very spot where our new distribution and workforce training center will soon stand to share with you our vision of that hunger-free, healthy, and thriving community. At this time, I'm honored to bring to the stage one of our true champions in this vision, David Taylor, Chairman, President, and CEO of Procter & Gamble. David has worked in the fight against hunger for a very long time, not only in our community, but around the country. At the national level, he has served on Feeding America's board for 8 years, including 2 years as board chair. He currently co-chairs Feeding America's Food Security Council, working with other top executives from around the country to leverage systems and transform hunger alleviation in the United States. Locally, he's been a fellow Freestore Foodbank board member for 7 years, and as you know, has been leading the efforts for Growing Beyond Hunger as campaign chair. Please join me in welcoming David Taylor.
Good afternoon, everybody, and please, there are still a few more seats left. But on behalf of the Growing Beyond Hunger campaign, I want to welcome all the guests, and those that are here in person and those that are online. On behalf of my co-chairs that have done most of the work, Marty Dunn, Jim Dressman, Theresa Tanner, and the entire Growing Beyond Hunger cabinet, I want to extend my gratitude for your outstanding support of the Freestore Foodbank. We wouldn't be here without your incredible work. Prior to the pandemic, hunger was a real issue in the community, and many of you have been involved with Freestore Foodbank for many years. You know, this is not a new issue. In fact, nearly 1 in 7 people in greater Cincinnati are at risk of hunger, with an estimated 47 million meals as a gap that existed. To fix that gap, Freestore Foodbank increased distribution. It was 7 million meals a year in 2009. It went from 7 million meals a year to 38 million meals a year in 2019. While critical, that growth put tremendous strain on the facilities that Freestore Foodbank has, the infrastructure, creating bottlenecks and real issues. As a result, the Freestore Foodbank leadership decided to embark on what is really a transformational campaign to move the region beyond hunger, and it's going to take a lot of resources to do that. And we are getting ready to go and have all the in-person meetings, and then COVID hit, and the world changed for every one of us. Thousands of people in our region lost their jobs. Schools were shut down and went virtual, leaving many kids at home. Our most vulnerable citizens were isolated in our community. Freestore Foodbank experienced its longest lines for food and assistance in its 50-year history. You've seen the pictures in the media. We've all seen it, both here and nationally. And the importance of food and what it could do to make a difference became more critical than ever. We saw a 63% increase in the need for food and distributed more than 28 million meals between March and December 2020. Many of the families that we served were facing hunger for the first time, with nearly 75% new to the Freestore Foodbank. So these weren't people that had had the issue before. And Feeding America estimates that the impacts of the pandemic on hunger in the country will linger for many more years. Even though the economy is coming back, and many of us are excited that you're not having to wear your mask all the time, for many people in our community, they're not excited yet because they still have huge issues to face. A year ago today, in the middle of the pandemic, we all gathered, largely virtually, to announce our Growing Beyond Hunger campaign. And to date, we've raised more than $27 million, thanks to all of you and many others. Thank you. And we're almost there. 30 is the number, and we're not passing the plate today, but we're not done. And we will get to 30 million because it matters. It matters to so many people. So we're not going to stop till we get to 30 because we know what it can enable. The lasting impacts of the past year, coupled with rising inflation and construction costs, will require additional resources. And we will continue to need your help. So even once we get this beautiful facility built and the many other things that this campaign will enable, there still will be needs. But today, we're excited to celebrate an important milestone for the campaign. Your generous support has allowed us to break ground on the Freestore Foodbank's new Distribution and Workforce Training Center. The facility will address our most critical infrastructure needs and allow us to distribute more fresh, healthy foods in our community, serving an additional 27,000 people and providing 13 million more meals a year. The new facility will also enhance Freestore Foodbank's workforce development program to tackle the root causes of hunger. While we have so many people to thank for helping us get to this point, and many are in this room, I want to begin by recognizing the folks who have given and continue to give their time, their energy, and their resources for this campaign. I want to thank a huge thank to members of the advisory committee, which was a group that met even before we started the campaign and guided us in the direction of what we thought was appropriate and what we thought the giving capacity of the community would be. And they recognized they had to think big, and they did. I want to thank all the people that are involved in the Growing Beyond Hunger campaign for their tireless work over the last 2 years. And thank you in advance for not stopping until we get to 30. I want to thank the Freestore Foodbank Board of Trustees for their leadership, vision, and support, which allowed us to simultaneously tackle the largest campaign and the largest emergency hunger response efforts ever in Freestore Foodbank's history. And thank you to the Freestore Foodbank staff, to Kurt and the staff. They are the real heroes that day in, day out are right up with the clients, helping them in every way they can. They've been committed to the mission and the vision, and anybody that's had a chance to watch them would get inspired and do more. And so to certainly Kurt and the staff, just an incredible committed group. They're mission-driven every day, and they take the resources that we're able to give, and they do something with it that matters and changes lives in our community. Now, please welcome Theresa Tanner, co-chair of the campaign, who will talk about the extraordinary community partners that have joined us. So thank you.
David, thank you so much for the introduction. And I want to just start my remarks by thanking you, David. When we began this journey, I had no idea, none of us had any idea what 2020 would bring. But in the midst of running one of the largest and most important companies in the world, and with all of the chaos that was in that job, your commitment to this campaign, to this work, never faltered. You never faltered. You were unwavering, and you were always committed. So thank you so much for your leadership. We couldn't have done it without you. As David said, my name is Theresa Tanner, and it has been my great honor to serve as one of the co-chairs for this campaign and to work with this team and this community. And I want to take a moment to recognize our community partners who have all stepped forward during such a critical time to support Growing Beyond Hunger. To begin, I want to thank you to our lead donors. Thank you, lead donors, for partnering with us in this transformational effort and embracing our vision of a hunger-free, healthy, and thriving community. Procter & Gamble and the Farmer Family Foundation were early supporters of these efforts and each committed $5 million to this campaign. Please give them a round of applause. We're honored to have the support of David and the entire P&G team for their ongoing support of Growing Beyond Hunger. And we're grateful for the Farmer family and Mary Beth Martin and Kim Slater for joining us today from the Farmer Family Foundation. We also want to thank several partners who have contributed significant seven-figure gifts to the campaign. First of all, Western and Southern Financial Fund, an anonymous donor and long-term friend of the Freestore Foodbank, Kroger, the Kroger Company Foundation, the Fifth Third Foundation, Great American Insurance Group, the Rosenthal Family Foundation, the Hale Foundation, Joe and Susan Pickler, and the Mayerson Foundation for the legacy they have helped to build with the current Mayerson Distribution Center. Thank you again to all of these important donors. And also thank you to more than 20 additional major donors who have generously made six-figure gifts to the campaign. And thank you to the entire Greater Cincinnati community as a whole for stepping up this effort and for our neighbors during such an unprecedented year. We're grateful for your partnership in this important work and your continued commitment to helping family in the communities. Now, help me welcome both Marty Dunn and Jim Dressman, who will share more information about this new facility that we're here to celebrate today.
Good afternoon. I am Marty Dunn and a longtime member of the Board of Trustees of the Freestore Foodbank. In fact, I'm not sure how long I've been on. We had a meeting a couple of weeks ago and we were all trying to testify as to how long we'd been on, and none of us could really say the exact number of years that we've served, but it has been a labor of love and a passion of many of ours. As David said, we want to thank all of you for being here. We want to thank all of our generous supporters who've given so much of their wealth to this operation and to this fundraising effort that we've had. But 27 is not quite 30, right? So we're almost there, but we felt like we were close enough to be able to have this celebration and to welcome all of you and to thank you for being here. But we'll look forward. We won't pass the plate, but there will be an opportunity to give more to make us, allow us to reach our goal. So why are we doing this? We've got two facilities, one in Mayerson and one in Northern Kentucky, that have allowed us to be distribution centers, but we wanted to consolidate those particular efforts into one site to make it more convenient, to allow us to expand the amount of dry storage that we're going to have, which will increase by 125%, 350% increase in our cold food storage, and to allow us to have a larger dock area so that people can deliver things much more easily. Large trucks, cars, whatever. That's why we're here. This is going to be a wonderful 190,000 square foot facility. It's going to be beautiful. We've seen the renderings of it. Some of you have seen it. We're excited about this. Part of the other mission of the Freestore Foodbank isn't just to serve folks who are in the lines, but to make sure that we shorten and end the lines. And to that end, this will also allow us to increase our workforce development and training programs. So increase food storage, an ability to have greater deliveries, but also to enhance the training that we try to deliver to this community so that we can eradicate hunger and food insecurity entirely. So thank you for being here. We appreciate this opportunity to see all of you, and thankful that we can be here in person, because when we first started organizing this, we weren't sure how this event was going to take place. Jim?
Thanks. Thank you, Marty. As Theresa mentioned, we are very grateful to the Procter & Gamble and the Farmer Family Foundation for making lead gifts to our Growing Beyond Hunger campaign. In addition to Dave's personal commitment to the Freestore, P&G has been a supporter and partner of the Freestore Foodbank for over 30 years now, providing capital and program funding support as well as volunteer support. They have been involved in many programs Freestore runs to help those in need in the community. The Farmer Family Foundation has also been a longtime partner, providing critical resources to support Freestore's work in the community also for over 30 years. Their partnership has been critical for Freestore's workforce development and job training services, Power Pack program, transportation services, and much more. At this time, I am delighted to share that we will be honoring these commitments with the Community Resource Distribution Center made possible by P&G. And I think that's showing up on the monitor. Yes. Thank you, David and P&G. And the Farmer Family Foundation Workforce Training Center, which should be on the monitor. On behalf of the entire Freestore community and those it serves, I want to thank both P&G and the Farmer Family Foundation for partnering with us in this transformational effort and embracing our vision of a hunger-free, healthy, and thriving community. This new facility will be instrumental in the Freestore Foodbank's efforts to end food insecurity for many years to come. Now, I would like to ask Kurt Reiber to come up and say a few words for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Good afternoon, and thank you for being with us today. It is a red letter day, whether you're here in person or virtually. This is a wonderful celebration. As Jim mentioned, a transformational milestone for the Freestore Foodbank's history and for our Growing Beyond Hunger campaign. Thank you, David, for your incredible leadership that has brought us to this point. Thank you, Theresa, Marty, and Jim, for your unwavering commitment to helping our team realize our vision of a hunger-free, healthy, and thriving community. Thank you to our Growing Beyond Hunger cabinet members, our campaign advisory group, our Freestore Foodbank board, our foundation and core wine boards, our amazing donors, our friends at Ignite Philanthropy, and our tremendous Freestore Foodbank team. You all have made this possible today. 50 years ago, we had another milestone that we witnessed in our history. A visionary shared something we already knew, and that was that hunger was unacceptable. That visionary leader was our founder, Frank Gerson. Frank was a pioneer. He was leading the way. He ventured into uncharted paths, and he was willing to prepare the way for all of us to follow. It is my distinct honor here today to represent the families that we serve, our team members, board members, volunteers, supporters, and everyone that supports the Freestore Foodbank. We have stood on Frank's shoulders and the firm foundation that he established to feed the families and children in our community. From our early beginnings and to this day, we've relied on a caring community and a collaborative partnership with so many people. They've helped our team distribute food and services that were critical to creating a pathway for our neighbors from crisis to stability. We have grown over the years to where we are now serving 20 counties in 3 states through roughly 600 pantry partners, 3 state associations, and a network of 200 sister food banks that make up the Feeding America network. Over the years, in addition to providing life's basic necessity, food, to over 245,000 of our neighbors, 80,000 of which are children, our team has provided rental and utility assistance, enrolled families in SNAP, Medicaid, and unemployment benefits, launched a school pantry and health clinic pantry initiative in conjunction with our school districts, and our local hospitals, supported families through our stabilization services, and we have graduated over 3,500 students through our Cincinnati Cooks, Second Course, and Lift the Tri-State workforce training programs. If the COVID-19 pandemic told us one thing, is that Freestore is needed now more than ever. During the year prior to the pandemic, as David shared with you, we distributed just under 38 million meals. And as we close our books on this year, we expect that we could likely exceed 45 million meals. As we shared, we've witnessed families that have never set foot in one of our pantries come to aid and seek assistance from the Freestore or one of our pantries in the neighborhoods. They've been impacted by business closures, furloughs, and layoffs. As we've shared with you today, we've made great strides, but our work is not finished. We have reached a milestone that has allowed us to break ground on this Community Resource and Distribution Center and our Workforce Training Center. We are over 90% of the way there. But we know as prices continue to rise and the pandemic will continue to raise costs for us, we know we must do more. Let us use today as our clarion call to rededicate ourselves to achieving and exceeding our $30 million goal for growing our community beyond hunger. Our Community Resource and Distribution Center will allow our team to distribute more healthy and nutritious food. They will allow us to quadruple almost the space that we have for frozen and refrigerated perishable food items. It will allow us to be more efficient. And for the first time in our history, we will have a building that was completely designed for a food distribution and storage situation. Our workforce training program and center devoted to our Cincinnati Cooks and Lift the Tri-State programs will keep Freestore Foodbank on the cutting edge of workforce development programs throughout the country. And it will allow our team to implement strategic initiatives and best practices so that our graduates will be able to enter the workforce and have success. Our investment in capacity building for our pantry network will position our community partners for the future and allow them to provide more food and nutritious meals to families right here in our tri-state who are dealing with food insecurity. Our investment in our programmatic outreach and stabilization services will provide greater economic mobility to the families and individuals that we serve. Frank laid the foundation that we've built on for our past 50 years. Our growing beyond hunger will position us for the next 50. Frank had a vision of a community free from want and need, a community where children didn't have to worry about where their next meal was coming from, a community where we worried more about what the food was in someone's pantry as opposed to what was the money in their bank account, a community where an organization like Freestore Foodbank would provide food and services to people in crisis and move them towards stability. Thanks again to David for his leadership, our campaign cabinet for their relentless drive to move our region beyond hunger, our Freestore Foodbank board for their strategic vision, the dedication of our Freestore Foodbank team, and so many in our community that have worked tirelessly to help us raise nearly $30 million. Thanks also to the families of our team members for each and every day as we look to realize our vision of a hunger-free, healthy, and thriving community. They have stood by us. Today, Frank's vision is our vision. And you've heard David state on several occasions, we picture a time when hunger is not the issue in greater Cincinnati that it is today. And together, we can move our region beyond hunger, where we can create a hunger-free, healthy, and thriving community. Now I'd like to ask Warren Weber, our Freestore Foodbank board chair, to come back to the stage and end our celebration. Find your
about another round of applause for Kurt Reiber? As Theresa mentioned, obviously launching the campaign in the midst of COVID certainly has caused a few more gray hairs, but Kurt in his steady and calm manner has done a great job leading us through. At the same time, running the free store and the unprecedented demand we had for food, so thank you, Kurt. On behalf of the Freestore Foodbank, its Board of Trustees, and the Growing Beyond Hunger Gambit, I want to extend another thank you to all the donors. We still have work ahead as we work to fully fund the Growing Beyond campaign vision and continue to solve our community hunger challenge. In addition to improving and expanding healthy food storage and distribution by supporting Growing Beyond Hunger, we have an opportunity to double the number of workforce training graduates, implement stronger infrastructure across the pantry network, increase innovation and funding to scale best practices, and achieve long-term organizational sustainability. We are still asking for the community's support to help close out our remaining key investment priorities, which will strengthen our network of partner pantries by providing pantries with the storage equipment and supplies they need to ensure nutritious food is accessible to families throughout the region, and allow Freestore Foodbank to invest technology improvements, program operations, school and health pantry investments, and piloting and scaling best practices. Thank you to all of our current and future donors for your partnership in this transformative effort to end hunger in our region. You can still visit growingbeyondhunger.org to learn more about our vision, our plan, key investments, and opportunities to give. Thank you again to all of our donors, our campaign cabinet, our board, and to everyone who tuned in for this announcement. We hope you continue to join us as we work to move Cincinnati to beyond hunger. For now, please join us as we break ground on the new Distribution and Workforce Training Center. Thank you.